Hey everybody, Dragonfire here, and I'm coming at you with another one of my videos. A while back on my channel, I did a video on my vinyl collection, but my vinyl collection has grown considerably since the last time I did a video on my vinyl collection. So this will be an updated video about my vinyl collection. Okay. Alright. So, first up, I've got these in alphabetical order by band name. And we got AC/DC's Back in Black. Again, that's AC/DC's Back in Black. You can see there. So with my vinyls, I only get for two reasons. If they're really cheap price, and of course I have to like it, but I will only shell out more money if it's something that I feel like is a must-have for my collection. Otherwise, I just go for really cheap ones that I like. Okay? AC/DC's For Those About to Rock, we salute you. Great. Another album there from AC/DC. Maybe even my second favorite AC/DC album because it's Back in Black. Okay, here's the Aerosmith self-titled debut. Because I did get a lot of these for very cheap price. In fact, some of these were only $1. You can see that there's a lot of damage on the cover. I have these mostly for, I like to look at the cover. I like to go through them. I do play them sometimes, but I don't play them all the time. Because a lot of times if I want to listen to music, I can listen to CD or in some other way, so I don't necessarily have to play the vinyls all the time, but I do love looking at them, going through them. Sometimes I'll hold the vinyl in my hand while I'm listening to the music or whatever. Now, this when I originally picked this up, I found this at a vinyl shop. I thought this was the soundtrack for the movie Army to Darkness. I didn't really pay attention that closely. It was only $1, and I thought it would be cool to have it. However, this is actually a laser disc of the movie Army to Darkness. It is not the movie soundtrack. So, there's that. Laser disc of Army to Darkness. I wasn't paying that close attention, like I said. Okay, so Bad Company Straight Shooter. Bad Company Desolation Angels. The Beatles' Hey Jude. This is this Beatles, I forget which Beatles one this was. This is like an alternate special edition cover, but I think it's just introducing the Beatles, I think, which was like their first American album, or their second, was it their first or second? They had two different kind of first albums because they were released on two different record labels, is my understanding. So two different first American albums. This is a copy of the White Album, or Beatles self-titled album, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, copy of the White Album there. And here's Meet the Beatles, which I think is the other one. Introducing the Beatles and Meet the Beatles, depending on what region of the country you lived in, which version of the Beatles' debut American album came out. Of course, Please Please Me was their first album in the UK that came out before the American debuts. And here's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Great album. And this is a kind of musical Beatles thing. It's not actually the Beatles playing, but it's Beatles songs played by like an orchestra. Here's John Cougar with American Fool. CCR with Cosmo's Factory. CCR The Concert. Another CCR here. I forget. What's the name of this? Gold? I guess this one is called. Yeah, I think this one's called Gold. and Def Leppard's Pyromania. The Doors, LA Woman. So those are my A through D. All right, here's starting off the letter E with the Eagles Hotel California. Foreigner self-titled album. Foreigner Double Vision. I do have the Foreigner ones in order. Foreigner Head Games. Foreigner 4. Foreigner Records. This is the greatest hits collection. Foreigner Agent Provocateur. Foreigner Inside Information. I believe that's the last Foreigner one. Now we're on to the letter G with Guns N' Roses. Appetite for Destruction, yes. And also a greatest hits collection. How about Jimi Hendrix Experience, or The Essential Jimi Hendrix. Honeymoon Suite. Kind of a lesser known hair metal band. It's a kind of a deep cut. Billy Idol. Got one of his albums here. And Kick-Axe with their album Vices. Now I got my Led Zeppelin collection. I believe these are in order as well, with Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2. Don't have Led Zeppelin 3, but here's Led Zeppelin 4. All right, Led Zeppelin, famous Led Zeppelin 4, or the second self-titled album, or the fourth. I don't know how you want to count it. I don't have Houses of the Holy. There's a few I'm missing, but I do, as you can see here, I have Physical Graffiti. And here's Mama's Boys. Interesting hair metal band from Europe. Steve Martin comedy album. Nazareth, Close Enough for Rock and Roll. Ted Nugent, self-titled, along with Cat Scratch Fever. And Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Quiet Riot's Mental Health. I love this album so much. All right. Here is Rats Dancing Undercover. Let me get a better shot of it there for you. Okay. This is a motion picture soundtrack for Rocky, musical score. David Lee Roth's Eat 'em and Smile. Rough Diamonds. Scorpions Love Drive. Also, Scorpions Virgin Killer. Scorpions Animal Magnetism. Scorpions Blackout. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Live Bullet. Another Bob Seger here with Against the Wind. And this is Spinal Tap with Smell the Glove. I actually have 2 copies now of Spinal Tap's Smell the Glove. Here's another one, Spinal Tap, Break Like the Wind. Great Spinal Tap album. And Spinal Tap's The End Continues. Alright. Here's Stainless Steel with Can Can. Striker, self-titled album. Alright, this is absolutely one of my favorites of all time. Here, oops, I almost skipped one here. This little 45 here. Steppenwolf's single for Born to Be Wild, and on the B-side is Magic Carpet Ride, or is Magic Carpet Ride the B-side? I don't know. Which one do you think is the B-side? Magic Carpet Ride or Born to Be Wild? Which is the A-side and which is the B-side? I will leave that up to you to decide for yourself. I think I would put Born to Be Wild as the A-side. So yeah. Anyway, back to this one, George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Got my favorite album by then is Born to Be Bad. Okay. And Ugly Kid Joe with America's Least Wanted. Ugly Kid Joe. There we go. Great album. Here's Van Halen 1. Now, my Van Halens are definitely in order. Not all of my artists are in order because I haven't gotten around to it, but I'm pretty sure my Van Halens that I have, the ones I have, are in order. So here's Van Halen 1. This one, I'm going to go ahead and say is my favorite Van Halen album. It's very close between my top 4, but I'm going to go with this one as my number 1. Here we got Fair Warning. I'm going to say this is probably my 5th favorite Van Halen album, Fair Warning. But yeah, this is a good one. Then here, with 1984, I gotta say this is probably my 2nd favorite Van Halen album. Again, like I said, it's really close between my top 4. But 1984 might be my 2nd favorite Van Halen album. It's got my favorite Van Halen song of all time with Hot for Teacher. And this is a Japanese hair metal band called Bow Wow. They used to be, or basically it was the same band at one point. They were called Bow Wow, but they changed their names to Bow Wow, or Bow Wow broke up and Bow Wow was formed. But either way, great music here. This one is called Shockwave. This one is called Shockwave. So Bow Wow was Shockwave. And a couple of ZZ Tops. ZZ Top Fandango, which I believe is their 5th album. Some people don't count this one as their full-length studio album, but some people do. It was not I believe this is the one that was not included on the 6-pack, the ZZ Top 6-pack, that basically had 6 of the first 7 albums. This is the one that was not included, if I remember correctly. And Eliminator by ZZ Top. This is their most commercially successful album and my personal favorite. So there you have it. My vinyl collection. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Dragonfire out.